Oh, hey guys, Tim here. I just wanted to talk to you about 5 tips for playing over an 8-bar blues, and we'll go through them. I have examples as well, and these the backing tracks and this material is sort of culled from my new book, Melodic Blues Guitar Solos, and so if you want more of that kind of information, you can look into that book. I'll put some information about it in the description and at the end of the video. This song is called Hard Times, and it's a Ray Charles tune. I believe he wrote it, but if not, he sang it. And it's a pretty classic 8-bar blues. It doesn't have a bridge, which would be another subject. Sometimes 8-bar blueses have bridges, but this one doesn't. It's just 8 bars around and around. And of course, it's different than your average 12-bar blues by the fact that it has 4 fewer bars and the chords do some other things. This one's even got a fair amount of chromatic movement, approach from above, and those kinds of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through 5 different ways of approaching it, starting with tip number 1, play the melody. Learn how to play the melody to the song. 4-1. As close as you can get it to the vocal melody. So that's this example. So here's how it goes. Okay, now once we've learned the melody and can play it, in this middle range where it's similar to the vocal, then the next tip is to embellish that melody, play it in a couple of different ranges. Perhaps I went up on this one and I played around, adding little blues turns and a few other fills and things like that, but still really honoring the melody because we want to make sure that that becomes our template for the whole thing. We want to make sure that we honor that. Tip number 3 is learn from B.B. King. Now, I've seen B.B. King play tunes like this from time to time in his repertoire. There's one great video of B.B. playing on Ralph Gleason's TV show with an organ trio, and they play 8-bar blues in G. And he does this thing where he puts his first finger on the root of the key, F in this case, and then he basically stays in this position where he plays whole steps above the root, and then a whole step from the 4th to the 5th, and then he maybe comes down to the 6th to the 5th, and then the rest of it's all done by bending. Okay, and he might say something like this. Okay, and also leave a lot of space. If you don't know how to play over some of these chords that don't have that are unusual, don't play over them. Let the band play them and wait until you get to a place where you're comfortable. So that's this example, tip number 3. hey, tip number 4 is to add or include chord tones, particularly the third of the chord. Those are often missing. And third and flat 7 are good notes to target. So in this song, it goes from F, 2, 3, and then it goes to A7. Well, A7 includes a C sharp. And C sharp isn't really in, say, F major pentatonic or even F minor pentatonic. So we need to find that note. I find it right here on the 6th fret. And add it in when that chord arrives. So we might say... Okay, so here's tip number 4. Add in the chord tones as you pass by them, at least some of them. You'll be happy to find those things. Oh, and here's how tip number 4 sounds with the track. Tip number 5 is to play more from the jazz or swing or bebop language. So if you look at the chart that's floating right over here right now, there's a lot of unusual chords for a blues. Some of them are chromatic approach, which we can play over if we have time or if we feel comfortable with it. You can also ignore them and let the band do the work. And then there are some descending lines. There's a 2-5 of 4, 4 diminished, sharp 4 diminished, 1, and then 6. Right? All those chords can be addressed fully with their arpeggios, and in this tip, we're going to use some bebop language, or a little bit of it anyway, mixed with blues language to spice things up a little bit. You might find that this example goes a little too far for you. If that's your feeling about it, then concentrate on the earlier examples. All right, I hope you enjoy this, and make sure to check out the description, which has got links to my new book, Melodic Blues Guitar Solos, which includes the track that I'm using today and all the choruses that I played on this particular song, and all written out and transcribed. And there's a lot of video material behind the scenes on this as well. So please check that out and enjoy this lesson.